Welcome back, welcome back. This quote hit me out of one of the freestyles I did just last week. It says, bring the collective under one tent. And it made me think, I've been to a lot of MLM self-help seminars. So I kind of want to skip to the end real quick, even though you might not understand it. Because it's you ask yourself the question, how could I bring the collective under one test? And when I say collective, I mean humanity. And it's even in our own republic, we have this division, of let's go Brandon versus lock him up. And it's I'll skip to the end. It's how do you solve this problem and bring these people under one tent? And it's just you got to see yourself first. And that's a tough thing to have when you have an emotion rising from these heightened states. In this story of us versus them, that's completely false. You got to get your head around that. But it's just still a tough question to wrap your head around. It's bring the collective under one tent. Oh man. Hold up. So when you have these intense emotional environment states that you keep yourself in over this lie of separation, and how do you still make it happen when there's travesties going on in the world with the Palestinians, Hamas versus Israel? Not gonna work. It's there's the worst things happening that you can imagine. And you have people on both sides pointing this finger. And they're saying, we're right. And every time they do this, they point 3 back at themselves. So they do this out of fear. Which my marker is not going to work. Hold up. Take 2. I'm chosen. I'm chosen. Not seeing that they're under their collective. under one tent. They separate us over this fear. And it's like, if we go back to the example of two Americans, just if it wasn't for the Democrats, if it wasn't for the conservatives, and they tell these stories over and over and over, and it's like you have 70,000 thoughts a day, and it's like you got internet, you get a Starbucks, you got subs, burgers, getting some likes, some shares. Like, you're not living in lack. You're not living in scarcity. It's this made-up story. It was told to us when I was 12 years old in 5th grade. We're going to run out of oil in 20 years. I swear to God, America's the number one producer of energy in the world. So the collective, the strength we have, if there's 350 million Americans times 70,000 thoughts a day, and we choose instead of living in fear, we start to live in love and abundance. Like, you did go to work today. You did have dinner. You did watch Netflix. You did have a drink. You did go to a movie. You did spend some money at Gabriel Brothers. Blah, 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 blah. You weren't living in lack. But this story is repeating. If it wasn't for them, you know what? I wouldn't be shopping at Gabriel Brothers. I'd be at the Gap. It would be even more amazing. And just a real world example hit me today at work. I work at a fancy restaurant. And this one woman who I've befriended now, and she was just, there was a lot of negative stories coming out of her mouth, and I was hurt today. It's kind of spiritually, emotionally, physically drained. And she comes up to me after, I've heard 4 or 5 stories already. And she goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Did I upset you? If I did, I'm sorry. I'm not upset at all." She goes, "Well, if you need help, I can help you." And it was like, it just melted my heart. I was like, after all that nonsense earlier, you just cut through it. You had one thought that was so strong that it penetrated those other, God, how many words, how many paragraphs, how many heartbeats did this one just... She looked in my eye, and I could tell it was so genuine that she thought of me first. And then later I heard another story at the table, and I was like, "Guys, please stop. I saw this growth, and I didn't yell loud, but I raised my voice." And later when I got home, I thought about this, and so I wanted to make the video, and what an effect she had on me. I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry I raised my voice kind of at you." And just like when that happened, it melted my heart, and I was like, I know we're related, and I love you. And if you want to talk about things, because I don't know you that well, I'm interested. I want to hear these things. But if you're spending time over here and living in fear and reinforcing this story, you can't bring the collective under one tent. And it's so easy in that one moment. Out of all these other moments, that one moment was so strong, so much stronger than the other ones. And it's like, can you choose to live here with me? And I hope you guys choose to as well. Smile big, shine bright. Peace.